Okay, containers and orchestration. I guess one of the things that we're looking. This is sort of looking a little bit into the future. And I know that you guys were talking about containers, so that I'd bring this up. We are currently working on some container orchestration as well. So some of the things that you saw with VMs are much harder to implement with containers. Obviously, containers are not, at least today, the typical implementation, containers don't have a lot of state in them. And as a storage infrastructure company, we're all about state. So this is one of the things that we've been contemplating here is how to make containers, or at least manage state inside of containers. No one today has done a very, very good job of running things like giant databases inside of a container because of the storage modularity. You can't really move that much data around as part of the container, so you need to be able to keep it separate. So we are working with Docker, and we have a number of touch points across both orchestration and also the basic Docker functionality, so that we can do things as simple as provisioning storage for a container when a container is created, and also we expect to be working with some of the orchestration environments, so that we can do some of the same things that you see with vCenter. So we kind of see these things providing that same level of functionality across data centers for us once we plug into them, so that you could take the state of a particular container and then instantiate it in another location. So this will allow us, as we grow our network, to allow customers to be able to take a database and just move it around in its containerized form from one data center to the next, or even into the cloud and back. And this is going to be done, one, by the storage plugins, and two, by modifications and additional work around Kubernetes. And finally, we expect to work on creating a globally synchronized registry, so that containers that are registered in one location can be pulled out in another location. They're going to have these instances of registries across the universe. So. I left that in there. This is still like forward-looking stuff, but it sounded like it was a container day, so you guys want to see our view of that. Any questions on that?
One question.
Yeah.
What exists today versus what you're working on in the future?
This is all future. This is all future.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of the foundational technology of what you saw for the VMware stuff, the foundational technology is that.
Okay.
What we're really talking about doing here is just mapping it to individual containers and applications rather than VMs. So the unit of compute changes in our estimation in the new world.
Yeah, and I actually asked them to cover this because I sensed that ClearSky would be appropriate in an environment like this, and of course it turns out that he sensed that as well, and they had a lot to talk about in this area, so I felt like this would be a good topic for us here at Tech Field Day this week.